What's going on, good people of YouTube? Blue Light Bandit here, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Sig Mosquito, the 22 that doesn't have the best reputation out there, and I can concur. It's not a very good weapon at all. It's what I'll consider a piece of junk, and that's a shame too, because it feels so nice in the hands. I was so disappointed with this gun because it felt really good. It fits my hands really nice. The ergonomics is great on it. Love the sights. Love everything about it. But it's just a piece of junk. The reliability issues and the trigger is horrible. So let's get to it and start talking about it. What's going on, good people of YouTube? Blue Light Bandit here today, and today's video is going to be a review, more or less, of the Sig Mosquito. Hey, what's this picture? What's all these guns have in common? They all bear the great German Sig Sauer name. All great weapons, but this is the black sheep of the group. Whoop. Damn, I hate when that happens. It's the black sheep of the group, okay? This, to me, is not a real Sig. I know it's got a Sig. To me, they just should not have even produced this. They don't manufacture this gun anymore. There's a reason why. Let's get to it. Damn it. Okay, to go ahead and start giving just some basic facts or whatever about this pistol. It was manufactured between 2008 and 2013. They discontinued it in 2013 for obvious reasons. I mean, they got a lot of hate. Sig got a lot of hate over this because they never should have produced it, in my opinion. You know, every gun manufacturer out there, I don't care who it is going to have or release something problematic. They're going to have come out with a new model, and it's going to cause, something's going to be wrong with it. It never fails. I don't care who it is. If it's Smith & Wesson, Colt, you know, their latest revolver, you know, it's got a lot of bad marks. Kimber, I say Smith & Wesson, Glock. You know, people accuse me of being a Glock fanboy. I guess I am. I mean, it's not so much that I'm a diehard, you know, Glock fan, because I've got, if you've been around the channel long enough, I've got plenty of other guns, hence all these Sigs. But the reason why I love Glock so much is because they are so reliable, so accurate, and I've depended on them for years, okay? And I've literally put hundreds of thousands of rounds through my Glocks, all my Glocks together, and they run flawlessly. It's like the AK-47 of handguns, okay? But even Glock, I think their latest 22 they come out with has had a lot of problems. I've yet to buy one because I just don't want to. I don't want to buy a Glock 22 right now. I want to wait till the bugs get worked out because I'll be heartbroken. But when you've got a big name, especially a big name like Sig Sauer. Sorry about that, guys. But as I was saying, when you're a big manufacturer like Sig Sauer, Glock also, you're in on this too. Of course, I haven't shot one of those new Glock 22s yet, but I will. But you should make damn sure that thing runs like a champ before you stick that out there in the public's hands, or you're going to get bad reviews like this. You should know better. I don't care. I don't see how that can happen. How does that happen? You know, how did they release something that is so bad? But anyway, they did, and they quit making them, like I said, 7 years ago. And we'll give it a test run here in a minute to see how she runs. The good things about this pistol, it's a polymer frame with an alloy slide, holds 10-round magazines. It's got an ambidextrous safety. It's a good weight. I really like the feel, size of it. I really hate that this gun did not perform well for me because it's an awesome little package. I mean, it just is. And so I really hate that they didn't get this right, because it just mimics basically full size, one of their full size models. There's a couple of things I don't care much for. For one, a lot of people get this wrong. They call this a decocker, and it's not a decocker. This is just a safety lever. There's not one in the chamber, as you can see. When the magazine's out, it won't fire. It won't activate the trigger, and the hammer won't fall. And the slide, well, I didn't think the slide was supposed to work, but it does. But you can't press the trigger or make the weapon fire. So the magazine has to be in, like so. But as I was saying, this is not a decocker. It's merely a safety. As you can see there, it did not decock the weapon. It just put the weapon on safe. And what I'm assuming that does, yeah, you can see it in there, how it works, if I can get you a good shot of it or not. You can actually see it roll up, and then the hammer will hit that instead of hitting the firing pin. So that's how that works. Anyway, I don't care much for that magazine safety feature. That's just my opinion. You may like it, don't know. But the sights are good. These are night sights. They got everything right, but they didn't put enough R&D into it to make sure it was going to run right. As far as accuracy goes, it's accurate. I was shooting at it the other day at 25 yards, hitting a small steel target. Every time I was hitting it. And I'm like, it's a damn shame this gun sucks so bad. And then one magazine, you know, I had a light primer strike, and then I had a failure to extract. And, you know, it just is what it is. We'll take 10 rounds outside and see how she works. I forgot I was going to test this trigger to see what the poundage was on it. Again, I know people might go nuts over this, me putting a loaded magazine in here, but you'll get over it. Chamber's empty. So there's no way this can go off. We'll test the poundage. Good grief, that's ridiculous. Wow. It went past my scale. My scales go up to 8 pounds. It went past it. Let's do another one. Clear. Okay, that one was right over 8 pounds. We'll do one more. Clear. That is ridiculous. Golly, that was the most. It looks like it would be 9 pounds if it went that high, but no, it maxes out there. It won't go any further. So you get the point. That should be, well, to give you an example, let's take this one. And we can fire this one without the magazine in it. So we'll just go ahead and do that one. This one in single action mode has a very nice, didn't do that right. £4.5 pounds. Now that's nice. That's a nice trigger. Damn it, Bobby. That's a nice, crisp trigger. But to have something like that on a 22, oh my God, that is just nuts, man. So, giving props. I have yet to find a 22 better than Ruger. Ruger makes some of the best 22 pistols and rifles. I've ever seen. Now, I've got some high-dollar rifles, 22 rifles, Browning, and some really nice ones, but for the money, you can't beat a Ruger. But anyway, let's go outside. Let's let it start to rain. Okay, we got 10 rounds of CCI. That's what this pistol functions best with. We'll see if we can't put 10 rounds without a malfunction. It may not. We'll see. You hot? Where's my puppy at? Puppy! Okay, I see him. Whoops. Malfunction. Got a failure to feed. I don't know if you guys can hear the grit in that trigger. It is horrible. Slide didn't lock back. That's okay. I have one malfunction. Let's go look at our target. Okay, we got 10 rounds of CCI. That's what this pistol functions best with. We'll see if we can't put 10 rounds without a malfunction. It may not. We'll see. You hot? Where's my puppy at? Puppy! Okay, I see it. Whoops. Malfunction. Got a failure to feed. I don't know if you guys can hear the grit in that trigger. It is horrible. Slide didn't lock back. That's okay. I have one malfunction. Let's go look at our target. Okay guys, right here's the target I was shooting at, and this was between 10, 11, maybe 12 yards away, somewhere between 10 and 12. So that's like pretty good. You can tell by the size of my hand how big that little piece of paper is I was shooting at. And they're all in there. Surprisingly, if I hadn't been resting on something, there ain't no telling what it looked like, because that trigger, like I said, was horrible. I don't know if you guys could hear the grit in it or not, but it's just ridiculous. You know, 10-pound trigger, come on. Anyway, we had one malfunction, and it was a failure to feed. And from me just looking at it briefly as I did, I'm going to say that was the magazine's fault. It looked like a malfunction in the magazine, but the other malfunctions that I've had were failure to eject were the weapons, the actual firearm, and light primer strikes is malfunction of the firearm and not the magazine. So we got two things working against us here. We've got a magazine that's not reliable, and the gun itself is not reliable. So anyway, I'd steer clear of this weapon if you had an opportunity to buy one. But all the other Sig Sauer pistols, like I showed you in the other video of my collection, I'll post a link in the description. They're all solid. I wouldn't steer. I'd pick one up of those all day long. They're just great guns. The P220, the 26, all of those guns are great. But the Mosquito, stay away from. Y'all have a great day. See ya.